Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Kabir Considers. In this video, I'm going to react to what it's like on your first day in US federal prison. Now, this should be a fascinating one because, being in prison is just, I imagine at least, has got to be one of the scariest places you could ever be on earth. Your freedom is taken from you, your ability to choose, your ability to just have basic, choice completely taken from you. And this guy here, his video was recommended to me. I think he served 6 or 7 years in US federal prison. And he's gonna detail what it's like on the first day for someone who's never been in prison before. So yeah, I suspect it's gonna be quite an interesting, quite an eye-opening video. So let's do it.
First day in federal prison. 10 sketchy, surprising facts about your first day in federal prison, camp, or a federal prison low, and also how I went to solitary confinement my first day.
Man, he was in solitary on his first day? What did he do?
This is Federal Prison Insider, helping you prepare to go to federal prison camp or a federal low. This is your guide to stay safe and get time off. All right, let's get started with number 1. The first surprising thing about federal prison is leaving your house. It ends up that prison is easy. It's leaving that's hard. When you first leave, I remember waking up that morning in my bed thinking, man, this is the last time I'm going to sleep in this bed for years. I had a 60-month sentence, 5 years.
65 years. Man, it doesn't sound that long in the grand scheme of prison sentences, but still, 5 years, that's a long time.
Showering, this is the last time I'm going to be showering. Little did I know, showering barefoot is an absolute luxury. After years of showering in sandals, going and petting my dog for possibly the final time, and stopping on the way out to say goodbye to my mom and grandmother. This is a super emotional and kind of tragic Shakespearean thing, leaving your house and going to prison. Number 2, when you arrive, prison looks surprisingly scary, especially like me. I'm going to a low security or a minimum security camp, but when you arrive, you're going to check into a whatever main facility is there. It's usually a USP or a high security facility.
All of the concrete, gosh, man, and the barbed wire, that would scare the crap out of me, man.
That you're going to check into. These things look like castles. They got 30-foot walls, turrets, triple barbed wire fences. Intake into a prison is sketchy because you're going to be checking out the high security, but that's only temporary. Number 3, the apathy of the guards is supreme. This is an impressive level of apathy that there's just so little caring. And so I just expected, because I was in my own head, the kind of emotional first day at prison, oh my God, they're going to, handcuff me, and is this Brandon Parker? Take him in, the guards do not care at all. It's not like that. You're basically walking into the DMV would be a good example. You get there. I was like, hey, I'm Brandon Parker. They're like, yeah, just go sit over there, wait in line. We'll get to you when we can. Wow. It took an hour probably for a guard to come actually care that I was there. He didn't care. He just was like, okay, come with me, blah, blah, blah. This high level of apathy from guards carries through the
I love this guy's face.
entire system, and it is something that you'll just get very used to. But
that guy was just like...
Don't expect anyone to do anything with any urgency at any point during any prison experience. It's just picture yourself at the DMV for 5 years.
It's interesting though, because I would have thought that, they're really that the guards would be really sort of focused to make sure that no one's trying to do anything like escape or something like that, some kind of undesirable behavior. So to hear that they don't really give a damn, maybe because, this prison, you're inside, you're not going to get out of it. You're in the middle of nowhere. So maybe they're just just leave him there.
Hit like, hit subscribe. That hooks it up with the YouTube algorithms. I don't know how the FBI is currently running YouTube, but supposedly the thumbs up helps. Number 4, the actual check-in. So finally someone came and got me, and they took me to check me in, handcuff me, take me in this room, get me naked, squat and cough, check out my butt, check out my other little naughty parts.
Squat and cough?
Make me open my mouth, make sure I'm not, I don't know what I'd be trying to smuggle into prison, but they do that.
What?
And then they take you for an intake. They make sure basically 2 things. One, that you're not in a gang and you're not going to go get someone in the neck with a pen right when you hit the yard. And then they also interview you regarding suicide. If people are suicidal, if they say, I'm going through too much, I'm thinking about suicide, they will not send those people to a camp. They will put them in a low or some sort of secure facility. Number 5, the time you show up to prison is important. If you show up in the evening and they don't have time to process you, you will wait overnight in solitary confinement instead of going straight to the camp or straight to the low onto the yard where it's more free. So keep in mind as well, there's shift changes and guard apathy. So you might show up at 3 and not start looked at until 5 or 6 by the guards, which means you're going to spend the night in solitary. So that's a reason to pay attention to what time you actually show up to prison. Number 6, the relief when you actually hit the yard. I was not prepared to be so relieved. Honestly, I had done 2 or 3 years on the front end fighting my case, stressed out, nightmares, etc. I had visions of what prison would be like, and that was not the case. I hit the yard, I walked in, I saw guitars, I saw books, I saw people out, walking the track.
Wow.
And it was just...
So they're allowed to play instruments. That's good, I truly think that there has to be some kind of rehabilitation effort in prison. Otherwise, you're just creating hardened criminals who are even more detached from society. Obviously not all criminals can be rehabilitated, but I do think that those who commit non-violent crimes, petty theft, stuff like that, I do think that there is hope for those people,
Just this feeling of relief, like, oh, I'm going to be able to do this. Like, this is not, I'm not fist fighting my way through the front gate and, getting my lunch taken when I arrive. Number 7, an inmate kind of shows you the first ropes and takes you to laundry. I thought that the prison system or some guard or something would do this, but it's just an inmate. Will take you to laundry, get you shorts, shirts, boxers, socks, green uniforms or tan uniforms, whatever you're going to be in, and we'll get you set up with that initial stuff. Number 8, your welcome gift. So a group of people or a dude will approach you and he will give you a gift that kind of fills in the holes of some things that you're going to need, like a toothbrush, some slippers, deodorant, toothpaste, shampoo, whatever you might need. Someone's going to come offer that to you as a gift. That surprised me because I thought, man, if this guy's giving me a gift, he's going to want, a little gifty gift in return, maybe in the shower later, and I'm not into this gift. But that's not what it is. That's not what time it is. You do want to be cautious as you accept gifts in prison, but this welcoming gift with essentials is actually a charity that inmates get together and run, and it's not a bad thing. Number 9, meeting your bunkie for the first time. I did not give this any gravitas. I did not even, consider this as a thing, but looking back on it, this is an important thing because your bunkie has the key to the castle. He's going to know all of the different ins and outs of this specific prison. He could have possibly been in that bunk for 5, 6, 7 years before you got there. He will have all the hookups. He'll know what to do, what not to do. And this is your very best ally and the very best source for information when you first get to prison. So when you walk in your bunk, be very respectful, polite. Ask some questions, but don't sit there and chew his ear off. This dude has answered these questions for probably 10 bunkmates before you, and that shit is annoying. So, just play that how you will. Number 10, surprising things is the bathrooms and showers and toilets and sinks are clean. This stuff was all right. The showers were private, the bathroom stalls were private. It did not look like the...
Really? But I thought that they all showered together in prison. I thought it was like a big sort of open shower where there's loads of shower heads, but you all see each other and it's, a bit weird. So yeah, or maybe this is, I guess because it's federal prison, it's different to state prison. Maybe state prison is the prison where it's all, open and stuff.
Locker room, open shower scene where people are dropping the soap that I expected. It was pleasantly surprising. There's a bunch of men there, and they're keeping it really clean because they all have to use it. So out of respect for each other, they're keeping it clean. And finally, as I promised, how did I go to solitary confinement? Well, I showed up at 5 o'clock on a Friday on Labor Day weekend. These guards didn't care at all. They just let me sit there for a couple hours. Then they put me into solitary confinement Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, Monday for the holiday, Monday night. And then Tuesday, I finally got to go to the actual federal prison camp yard.
Wow.
So don't make the mistake I did, show up late for prison. They will just put you in solitary. The main point of these videos is to help you get a clear understanding of mistakes that you don't want to make when you go to prison. I made a lot of mistakes. I lost 100 grand to slick prison consultants, to attorneys. I did 3 extra years in prison because I didn't know how the game worked. And so I want to have people not make the same mistakes I made, man. I mean, prison is ruthless enough. You don't need to get taken advantage of by vultures along the way and do more time than you need to.
Wow.
People are already going through it. So these videos, if you're going to federal prison, these videos are for you. So that's it. That's the show for today.
Man, very, very interesting indeed. I don't know why, but I find like prison videos fascinating just because obviously I never plan on going to prison, but it's just to get an insider's view as to what it's like in there, you know, what it's like to be confined to a cell for 20 hours, 23 hours a day. You know, the food they eat, the way they shower, things like that. It's really interesting, really fascinating. I like this guy's video as well. I like the way he came across. He was quite funny as well, so I'm definitely going to check out more of his stuff. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.